more and more celiac disease, and each year millions of Americans are being diagnosed.
It's still considered the most widely underdiagnosed illness, so we've asked Dr. Asif Hussain, a gastroenterologist with Parker Adventist Hospital, to join us early this morning. Thank you for coming in. We appreciate it. What exactly is celiac disease, and how many Americans are affected by this these days?
Celiac disease is an autoimmune condition which is inherited. Essentially what it means is that people, the affected individual, when they get gluten in their diet, and gluten is a dietary component that is present in wheat and barley, antibodies are created in their system. And those antibodies not only attack gluten, it also affects the normal intestinal mucosa. And when it does that, that essentially gets destroyed, and as a result of which malabsorption and multiple different side effects of celiac disease happen. Now, interestingly, it is such a common disease, but it is not very well known. 1 in 133 people, Americans, are affected by this disease. And only 60,000 people are diagnosed. So there are over 2 million people running around with celiac disease.
And they don't even know it.
They don't know it.
So why is this?
The reasons are that it's such a, the disease symptoms are so non-specific. It's like, people coming in with, say, just bloating or just fatigue. And they don't know that they're allergic to gluten, and gluten is the thing that's causing their illness. So that's one of the reasons that it is diagnosed way down the road when the disease process sort of is late or later. And that's the reason it's underdiagnosed.
Interesting.
And, another important sort of thing in here is that it's almost as common as Alzheimer's disease. Almost 2 million people in the United States are affected by Alzheimer's, and similar numbers exist for celiac disease.
You mentioned inherited. I heard you say that.
Yes.
What causes this exactly? Are there other factors?
Yes. There are essentially 3 things that have to get together for celiac disease to occur. Number 1 is that you have to inherit the gene.
Okay.
Number 2, the gene has to be triggered. Number 3, you have to get gluten in your diet. And gluten is so ubiquitous in our diets, like wheat. It's basically there in pretty much every meal you eat, barley, oats, things like that. So all this sort of, when all these 3 factors come together, you develop celiac disease.
Okay, real quickly, I'm sorry, people I'm sure want to know treatment options available, just real quickly here.
Interestingly, the treatment options are very simple. You essentially avoid gluten in your diet, and that's that.
Okay.
Okay, that's simple enough. Thank you. Good
You're
explanation. It's kind of a mystery to a lot of folks. Thank you, doctor, for coming in.
It's